Good morning. It's Monday, June 2nd. Here's what we're working on this morning. Police are investigating an overnight shooting in downtown Hamilton.
Canada Post has rejected the union's request for binding arbitration to end its labor dispute.
And the London Knights capture their third Memorial Cup title with a dominant win over the Medicine Hat Tigers. Good morning. It's Monday. We survived the weekend.
We did.
Some of us just barely. And Brian Wood's back, and Emily is in for Annette this week.
Hello. All right. Yeah. Going to be a fun week.
I think it will be.
It's nice to come back after a week of being off from here, and knowing that your key card worked, so you can come in. Hey, they still want me.
You remembered all your passwords logging in the morning.
Isn't
You're like, okay, I'm
Isn't that
going.
something? You sit down after a week and you go, what the heck is my I can't get in, but eventually it all comes back to you. And hopefully working all this stuff will come back to me. It's Monday again. I guess the link didn't close this weekend. It's coming up Father's Day weekend, so we got to pass on that one. So the link will be rolling here this morning. Everything else is rolling okay as well. And you know what is going to be better? I sure know how to pick the weeks off. Oh, it was cloudy and cool and rainy, and now I come back and the sun's going to come out. Of course, it's going to be a gorgeous day today. Sunny and 23 today. It is cool right now. Our temperature is sitting at 4. We were 3 a while ago, so it was cool to start. But we will see the sunshine. It'll be even warmer. Yeah, and we're going to start getting some humidity as well. We'll talk about that coming up. Traffic, 403 Waterdown Road. That's doing fine. Nothing to see there. Generally, nothing in the Hamilton area. We'll check a few MTO traffic cameras, see if they're going to play for us today. Yes, they are. Here's Grays Road, Stony Creek, Toronto bound, heading away from us. Top of the Burlington Skyway, nothing there. Appleby line. Generally, it's really light volume and dry roads this morning. So we will check weather and traffic in detail coming up just a few minutes for you right now. The news.
All right, Brian, thank you very much. A man has been taken to hospital following a shooting in downtown Hamilton last night. Simone Gavros is there with more. Simone, good morning.
Good morning, Rick. Hamilton police say that a 27-year-old man from Hamilton has non-life-threatening injuries after the shooting took place last night. Now, we are still learning a number of details right now, but we know that right now police say that when the call came in, there were just some details about one loud bang. So there was just one shot at this time that police are reporting. These are the details that we have right now. They are still just coming in, but there was evidence overnight, and police had the scene locked down over here right by me on King Street, where they were processing the scene. At this time, police say that they are looking for at least one suspect. He's described as black with a thin build. He was wearing a black Tiger Cat football toque, a gray hoodie, a red crossbody satchel with black pants, a white belt, black shoes with a white sole. Now, we are still learning a lot of these details right now as police are looking for this one suspect. Again, the 27-year-old man from Hamilton is in hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. Anyone with information is asked to contact Hamilton Police. For now, Emily, I'll send things back to you.
Thanks, Simone. We'll check back in throughout the morning. 2 people are dead after a pickup truck crashed head-on into their SUV in Stony Creek. It happened just after midnight on Sunday on Upper Centennial Parkway, north of Mudd Street. Hamilton police say the Ford pickup was driving on Upper Centennial when it collided with another pickup beside it going in the same direction. Then the Ford pickup slammed into the SUV coming the other direction. The driver and passenger in the SUV died at the scene. The driver of the Ford pickup was taken to hospital with non-life-threatening injuries, and the driver of the third vehicle was not injured. There's no word yet on any charges, and police have not released the identities of the people killed or the others involved. Police are asking for any witnesses to come forward.
A home in East Hamilton has been destroyed in an explosion. Happened just before 5 o'clock yesterday morning on Tuxedo Avenue North. About 50 firefighters were called to bring the ensuing blaze under control. No one was home at the time and no injuries were reported.
We went to the hotel for 2-3 nights R&R time, celebrate her birthday and her pregnancy. And we got a phone call this morning. It's at like 4-5 o'clock in the morning saying the house is on fire.
The station's just around the corner on Kenilworth Avenue. I will tell you they had a fully involved heavy flame when they arrived. They did a tremendous job getting hose lines laid, getting the aerial up in front, and getting water on this incident to not only knock the fire down, but to save it from spreading to the two homes, which also are very, very close.
Officials estimate the damage at more than $500,000 and say the house is a total loss. The cause of the explosion is still unknown, and the investigation is ongoing.
Canada Post has dismissed a proposal from the union representing 55,000 workers to end their labor dispute through binding arbitration. The Crown Corporation rejected the idea, suggesting that the process would not restore stability to the service, and they're looking for it in its operation going forward. In a statement, Canada Post believes arbitration will be long and complicated and likely last more than a year, adding to the service's significant financial challenges. The agency presented its final offers to the union on Wednesday, with concessions including an end to compulsory overtime and a signing bonus of up to $1,000. Prime Minister Mark Carney is huddling with the country's premiers in Saskatoon to find a consensus on what major industrial projects Canada should prioritize and quickly approve. Before sitting down with the Prime Minister, Alberta, Saskatchewan and PEI signed agreements with Ontario to remove trade barriers. Saskatchewan and Ontario agreed to mutually recognize each other's goods, workers and investments. Alberta's government says its memorandum of understanding with Ontario not only seeks to improve the free flow of goods and services, but also simplifies requirements for regulated professions such as the skilled trades. Premier Doug Ford says the measures will strengthen Canada's fight against U.S. President Donald Trump's trade war and alleged attempts to take jobs from Canadians. Prime Minister Mark Carney met with oil and gas executives in Calgary on Sunday to discuss partnerships and get input on his plans to make Canadian an energy superpower.
Partnership is a theme for our discussion this morning. It's a critical time for our country. The world's certainly more divided and dangerous, and the imperative of making Canada an energy superpower in all respects has never been greater.
The closed-door roundtable included more than 24 members of the energy sector. 38 CEOs of Canadian energy companies signed a letter congratulating Carney on his April election win and have also begun pitching policy measures they say would help make the PM make good on his promise. At least 6 people are injured after an attack at a rally near a popular mall in Boulder, Colorado. The FBI says a man with a makeshift flamethrower yelled "Free Palestine" and threw an incendiary device into the crowd gathered to raise awareness for the Israeli hostages held in Gaza.
The initial callers indicated that there was a man with a weapon and that people were being set on fire. The initial response by our officers, we were on scene very quickly. When we arrived, we encountered multiple victims that were injured with injuries consistent with burns and other injuries.
As a result of these preliminary facts, it is clear that this is a targeted act of violence, and the FBI is investigating this as an act of terrorism.
Authorities arrested 45-year-old Mohammed Sabri Solomon, who they believe acted alone.
It's time for Sportsline, and the London Knights have once again climbed to the summit of Canadian junior hockey.
The Tigers come out through center. This is broken up. Here goes Barkey the other way. Barkey in alone. Off the backhand, scores!
After losing a heartbreaker in last year's Memorial Cup final, Knights captain Denver Barkey scored 2 goals to lead London to a 4-1 win over Medicine Hat in last night's championship game. Maple Leafs prospect Easton Cowan also scored for London and was named tournament MVP with 4 goals and 3 assists. He's the first player since 1972 to lead the tournament in scoring in back-to-back years. It is London's 3rd Memorial Cup victory after taking the title in 2005 and 2016. Gavin McKenna, the projected #1 pick in next year's NHL draft, scored for Medicine Hat.
13 returnees.
Well, we're still a couple of sleeps away from Game 1 of the Stanley Cup Final between Edmonton and Florida. Oilers head coach Chris Knobloch says having fun has been a big factor in their success.
During this playoff run, that we've obviously had a goal in mind, but I think everyone's been able to enjoy the ride.
Connor McDavid left practice early yesterday, but Knobloch says the Oilers captain will be fine for Game 1 of the final on Wednesday night. Odds makers have made Edmonton the favorites to win the Cup for the first time since 1990. Hamilton Tiger Cats announced their final training camp cuts yesterday afternoon, well after the league-mandated 10 p.m. deadline on Saturday. No reason was given for the delay, but players who have been released include Canadian receiver Luther Hokunavanu and linebacker DQ Thomas. 10 players were placed on the practice squad, including running back Trayshawn Ward, cornerback Zamari Walton, and receiver Keaton Bruggeling. Hamilton opens the regular season this Saturday in Calgary. Oh, if the Blue Jays could only play the A's all the time. Addison Barger hit a 3-run homer in the 8th inning as Toronto beat the Athletics 8-4 to complete a 4-game sweep at the Dome. It was Barger's 5th long ball of the season and 3rd in 3 games. The Jays have won 5 straight and 9 of their last 13 to improve to 31-28, good for second place in the AL East. The A's have dropped their last 6 and 17 of their last 18 overall. The Guelph Royals exploded for 6 runs in the 5th inning and cruised to a 9-3 victory over the Hamilton Cardinals. Nathaniel Bell drove in 4 runs as the Royals improved to 4-2 in the Intercounty League, while Hamilton dropped to 3-2. Elsewhere yesterday, Toronto topped Brantford 9-8, Barrie blasted Kitchener 12-4, and London got by Chatham-Kent 8-7.
Okay, 6:11. It's Monday again, and it's the 2nd of June, and we've got the sunshine with us this morning, but we've also got some cool temperatures. We'll talk about that coming up. A quick check on traffic because there's nothing happening here. 403 and Waterdown Road is moving nicely as usual this time of the morning, so nothing there. Construction's coming to an end in a lot of areas. We'll check some MTO traffic cameras. Nothing here at the QEW in the 405, so everything looks good through St. Catharines, Stony Creek at Grays, Fairview through Burlington. Here's the Ford plant in Oakville, and we're just, kind of showing you a few cameras because there's just nothing going on. That's the QEW at Etobicoke Creek. Get to our temperature this morning. Temperature's gone the wrong way to kick off the morning here. We're now sitting at 3 degrees. That's way below seasonal for an overnight low. Well, that's what happens when the skies are fairly clear. The temperature can fall. We do have a little bit of cloud cover at the moment. It's a partly cloudy or partly sunny start to the day. Winds are light. Humidity is up there. But we do have sunshine in our forecast for today. Should be a nice, bright, sunny day. A 23-degree high for today. That's around seasonal to a degree above. A little bit of west wind, but a very high UV index. Air quality for today, no problems in the low-risk category, both morning and afternoon. Lovely ridge of high pressure sitting to the south of us. It's giving us the clear skies, the sunshine for today. Just a little bit of cloud could drop in, but clear again tonight. Sunny again tomorrow. But then by Wednesday, we're going to see that cold front go through, and that's what's going to drop our temperatures. But the temperatures, speaking of which, are going to be a lot better. 19 to 21 for Niagara, 22, 23 degrees for the rest of the Horseshoe. We are looking at lovely sunshine for the day today, and the sky will be clear once again tonight. Temperatures 12, 13, and 14. So a lot milder overnight tonight when you figure we're sitting at 3 right now. What a difference tonight and tomorrow morning will be. So we're getting a warm push of air that's going to, be noticeable for tomorrow. 24, 26 for Niagara, 25, 27, and 28. Humidex values in the high 20s for the day tomorrow. So you're going to notice it's going to be a fair bit warmer tomorrow, and we are going to have lovely sunshine. So out the door this morning, it is partly cloudy, partly sunny, depending on how you want to look at it. It is cool, though. That temperature is below seasonal. We're sitting at 3 at the moment. And we'll check the long-range forecast coming up. Emily, Rick.
Thanks, Brian. Coming up after the break, we are going to say good morning to Emily Vukovic with a preview of what's to come in chitchat. And China says the United States has violated their trade truce. We'll have those details and more coming up in 2 minutes. Let's say good morning to Emily Vukovic. Emily, what is coming up in chitchat this morning?
Hi, good morning. Netflix's live event took place over the weekend, and they revealed several release dates for some of their TV shows.
Nice.
Okay.
Yeah, they also showed the newest trailer for Happy Gilmore 2. Now, Rick, what's your stance on Happy Gilmore?
Oh, love them.
Okay,
yeah.
so
I need more. I need a 3rd, 4th, and 5th edition as well.
Okay.
Yes,
Emily
keep going,
Taylor
Adam.
hasn't seen the first one.
What?
No, I'm also a big hater of sequels. right now. I'm a big anti-sequel gal, so
I get it.
And I'm an anti-Adam Sandler, so it's all you. It's all you, Rick. Later on this morning, we'll get a preview of the new season of what's happening at the Burlington Performing Arts Center as well.
Nice.
Oh, I'm excited to hear that. Yeah.
We'll catch up with you later this morning.
I'll be there.
Business news, the Canadian dollar is up 25 basis points, now trading at more than 73 cents U.S. Gold is $62, 40 cents an ounce higher, and crude is up $1.98 to $62.77 U.S. a barrel. In midday European trading, markets are up just a bit in London, but down in Frankfurt and Paris.
And over in Asia, markets were down across the board in Tokyo, Hong Kong, and Shanghai. And in North American markets, the TSX was down 35 points on Friday. The Dow gained 54, and the Nasdaq dropped 62 points. U.S. stock futures are trading lower in pre-market trading this morning as trade tensions between China and the U.S. deteriorate.
And more on that. China is accusing the United States of provoking new economic and trade frictions, saying Washington has violated a recent trade truce. China's Commerce Ministry says the U.S. has imposed multiple discriminatory measures, including restrictions on AI chip exports, software sales, and visa revocations for Chinese students. Beijing says these moves violate the consensus reached during talks in Switzerland. The deal saw both sides dial back mutual tariffs for 90 days. China warns it will take forceful measures if the U.S. continues what it calls harmful and unilateral actions.
U.S. President Donald Trump says he plans to double tariffs on steel and aluminum from 25% to 50% this Wednesday. He issued a stark warning in case the courts strike down his tariffs. The president said on social media other countries could take economic advantage of the United States if courts block his ability to use tariffs. A lower court struck down the tariffs last week, but this ruling was overturned by a federal appeals court. U.S. Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick says the issue may end up at the Supreme Court. Canada U.S. Trade Minister Dominic LeBlanc said in a statement Saturday that Ottawa has taken note of that new plan and remains resolute to defend Canadian workers and communities. He goes on to say the Prime Minister will meet with premiers in Saskatoon with one goal: build one Canadian economy out of 13 and get big nation-building projects built faster.
Bank of Canada is widely expected to hold its benchmark interest rate steady at its decision on Wednesday. However, some economists warn keeping borrowing costs high now could come back to bite the central bank. Statistics Canada has said the economy got off to a hot start in the first quarter of 2025, mainly due to businesses rushing to get exports over the border before U.S. tariffs took effect. Many expected the trade dispute between Canada and the U.S. would really start pressuring Canada's economy in the second quarter. The central bank held its policy rate at 2.75% in April.
The provincially owned portion of Highway 407 is officially toll-free. The move to remove tolls on the eastern portion of the highway that stretches from Pickering to Carlington was announced last month as part of the Ontario budget and took effect on Sunday. Premier Doug Ford made the promise to remove tolls during the provincial election campaign earlier this year. The province estimates removing the tolls would save daily commuters around $7,200 every year. Tolls will remain in effect in our area.
Well, yesterday marked the final day of business for all Hudson's Bay Company stores. A 355-year-old company declared bankruptcy earlier this year and moved to liquidate merchandise at all 80 of its stores nationwide. The closures of HBC stores comes as the company is set to return to court tomorrow to ask a judge to approve a $30 million deal it signed with Canadian Tire Corporation to buy the rights to HBC's intellectual property. We're going to take a quick time out. Brian is going to be back with traffic and your 7-day weather forecast. Don't go away.
Good morning, just about 6:24 on this sunny Monday morning, but cool Monday morning. We'll talk temperatures coming up. QEW Highway 406, we start in St. Catharines, come around the Horseshoe, just give you an overview of some of our cameras because we have no real problems. Starting to see a little bit of volume, but not too bad here. The Skyway, Appleby line looks good. Lorne Park was a little busier about 5 minutes ago, but seems to be moving okay now, and no problems here. That's the 403 at Burnhamthorpe. The problem for Hamilton Hamilton this morning is the temperature. We are cool. 3 degrees is our temperature. We figured to start a morning and overnight low would be around 11 degrees for this time of year. 3 at the moment. 7 Mississauga, Toronto, 8 for Grimsby. Out for a walk this morning. A jacket's going to feel good. Those are our sun times. Sun's been up for a while. 5:42, 8:53 it goes down. 22 and 11 are our seasonals now, and that's the records for today. Yeah, so enjoy the sunshine today. No problems for school. 14 degrees for the first bell, 23 for after school. So a lot milder day today than yesterday. We got to 17 yesterday, but sunny and 23 today. 27 with a humid index of 29 tomorrow, and then 29 on Wednesday. Wednesday, there's a chance of a shower with an approaching cold front. Otherwise, we'll have some sun. And then Thursday and Friday look to be fairly cloudy with chance of showers both days, but that's okay because by the weekend, looks like the sunshine comes back, which is good news. 23 and 24 for the weekend. That's your forecast. Emily, Rick.
Thanks, Brian. Have you ever had the urge to grab a tomato and throw it at somebody?
I can't say I have.
Well, it happened yesterday at the Grand Tomatina Festival in Colombia as it returned to that nation.
Using tomatoes not suitable for consumption or overripe, revelers threw fruits at each other, leaving that messy red bowl of juice and puree on the ground. Just look at that. The festival, which was created to mirror Spain's La Tomatilla Festival, celebrated its 15th edition this year after many years of suspension. Some 20,000 visitors are expected during the 3-day festival, which ends today, and some 45 tons of tomatoes are available to splash. What do you think, Rick? You up for a food fight?
Maybe later on. Maybe after the show.
Not in the suit. Don't get it on the suit.
Yeah, no.
There's this Portuguese festival. It's in the Portuguese islands in the Azores on São Miguel. And every year it's a water balloon competition. Okay. And they come in these massive trucks, the different groups, and they have just buckets upon buckets of water balloons. They just throw it at each other. Same thing.
Wow.
I can't even imagine the cleanup after this.
Are they filled with tomato juice?
No.
Oh, okay.
I do believe it's just water, so I hope. But everyone's on the ground, and it's like these big trucks. They roll up next to each other and just pelt each other with water balloons all day.
Sounds like fun.
It's in the winter, though. I don't know. Maybe not for me.
Stay with us. More to come after the break. Good morning.